Okay, so something happened to me last week, and I need to talk about it.
What happened?
So, I was on a video call with my whole team. My boss was talking, and her face was just flat. No expression, like a wall.
Uh-oh.
And I wanted to say something to my colleague, so I typed a message, a private message. I wrote, "She seems angry."
Okay.
And I sent it to everyone, to the whole team, including my boss.
No.
Yes, it just sat there on the screen. "She seems angry." And then my boss looked at the camera, and she said, "Well, I suppose I do."
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
But then she laughed, so I'm fine. I survived. But here's the thing. I used the word seems. And actually, that word helped me.
Wait, how?
Because I didn't say she is angry. I said she seems angry. That's softer. It means I think she's angry. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, that's interesting. You gave yourself a little space.
Exactly. And now I'm thinking, what if I said she looks angry? Or she appears angry? Would that be different?
Okay, wait. Before we answer that, if you're listening right now, which one do you think is different? Seems? Looks? Appears? Just pick one in your head. Hold it. We'll come back to it.
We love putting you to work immediately.
That's exactly what we're here for. Welcome to Word Nerds. I'm Kai.
And I'm Lila. And today, 3 words. Seem, look, appear.
You've heard all 3. You probably use them. But do you know the difference?
Most learners don't. And honestly, a lot of native speakers can't explain it either. They just feel it.
Today we're going to help you feel it too. By the end of this episode, you'll know when to use each one, and you'll sound much more natural in English.
Let's go.
Okay, first, the good news. Seem, look, and appear all do the same basic job. If you understand that one job, everything else is easier.
What's the job?
They all mean, this is my impression, not a fact, an impression.
Okay, but what's the difference between a fact and an impression? I feel like some learners aren't sure about that.
Great point. So, a fact is, she is angry. I know this. It's true. But an impression is, she seems angry. I think this, based on what I can see or feel. But I could be wrong.
Oh, so seem, look, and appear, they all say, I think, instead of I know.
Exactly. They're softer than is. They leave a little space.
Okay, and here's a question for you, listening right now. And this is a real question, not a trick. Which of these 2 sentences feels stronger to you? She is angry. Or she seems angry. Say both quietly. Feel it. If you felt that she is angry is stronger and more certain, you're right. That feeling is your English instinct working, and that matters.
And now you already understand the core of today's episode. All 3 words, seem, look, appear. They make is softer. They say, this is what I think. This is my impression.
Okay, so they're similar, but they're not the same. What's different?
That's where it gets good. Let's start with look. Because look is the simplest and most concrete.
Okay.
Look is about what you see with your eyes. You look at something. You get a visual impression. That's it.
So, she looks tired.
Yes, you can see it. Her eyes are red. She's moving slowly. She's not smiling. You look at her and you see tired.
It's like a camera. You just report what the camera sees.
Exactly. I love that. Look is your camera word. You see something and you report it.
More examples, please. I want to really get this.
Sure. That pizza looks amazing. You see it. It looks good. Your room looks very clean. You walk in, you look around. Visual impression. He looks nervous. You see him. He can't sit still. He keeps touching his face.
Okay, so with look, there's always something you can actually see.
Always. If you can point to it, look at that. Then look is probably the right word.
And can look be used for things that aren't people?
Absolutely. That coffee looks cold. The weather looks bad. This street looks quiet. You see it with your eyes.
Okay, I feel like I have look now. It's about your eyes. It's visual. It's concrete.
Look equals eyes. Remember that.
Okay, now seem. Because this is my survival word. My video call word.
Your survival word. Let's do a quick test first. Don't overthink, okay? Which situation fits seem better? Situation 1. Your friend sends you a short, cold text. Just, okay. No emoji, no warmth. Nothing. You feel like something is wrong. Situation 2. You look at your friend and you can see that she's been crying. Red eyes, wet cheeks. Which one is seem?
If you said situation 1, yes, perfect. And here's why. In situation 1, you can't see her. You're just reading the text.
Exactly. Seem is different from look in one important way. Seem is not just about what you see. It's about your whole feeling or impression. Your eyes, your ears, your gut feeling. The whole picture.
So you can use seem even when you're not looking at someone.
Even when you can't see them at all. He seems upset. Maybe you heard it in his voice. Maybe you read it in his message. Maybe he canceled plans twice this week. You sense it.
She seems stressed. Maybe you see it. Maybe you just feel it. From the way she talks, the way she's writing her emails, the fact that she keeps making small mistakes.
Something seems wrong. You walk into a room and you just feel it. You can't explain it. You can't point to it. But something seems off.
Oh, I love that one. That's such a seem sentence.
That's pure seem. It's a vibe. It's not something you can see with your eyes.
So look is your camera, and seem is your...
Gut. Your whole feeling. Everything together.
Okay, here's your moment, learner. Think of someone you know, a friend, a family member, a colleague. Someone who maybe seemed different lately, not happy or stressed or quiet or distant. And say this sentence, he seems or she seems, and finish it. You don't have to say it out loud, but form it in your head.
Did you use something you can see or something you feel? If it was something you feel, that's seem. That's exactly right. And one more thing about seem. It's the most flexible of the 3 words. It works in almost every situation. Casual conversation, text messages, work emails, seem fits almost everywhere. So when in doubt, use seem. It's almost always safe.
Seem equals gut feeling, intuition. And it is your safe choice. Remember that.
Okay, let's put them next to each other. I'll say 2 sentences, and I want you, friends, to feel the difference.
Just feel it. Don't analyze. Trust yourself.
Pair 1. She looks tired versus she seems tired.
Looks tired, you can see it. Her face, her eyes, the way she's sitting. Seems tired, it's more. Maybe she told you she didn't sleep. Maybe her voice sounds flat. Maybe she keeps forgetting things. You feel it, not just see it.
Yes, looks is about her face. Seems is about everything. Pair 2. This restaurant looks expensive versus this restaurant seems expensive.
Looks expensive, I'm standing outside. I see the big windows, the waiters in black uniforms, the long menu with small writing.
Seems expensive. It's all of that, plus the neighborhood itself, plus what your friend told you, plus the fact that you need a reservation 3 weeks ahead.
Look equals eyes. Seem equals gut feeling. Seems carries more. It's bigger.
And if you just felt the difference between those pairs, if something clicked, trust that. That click is real. Your English is growing right now.
Okay. Appear. I feel like this one is different again.
It is, and it's simple to explain. Appear means basically the same thing as seem. Same job, same idea, but it sounds more formal.
More formal. Like in writing?
Exactly. You'll hear appear in news articles, in business emails, in reports, in official language.
So it's not really a word you use with your friends.
Not usually. If your friend looks pale and you say, "You appear unwell," she'll think something is wrong with you, not her.
Right. That's so stiff.
But if you're writing a report, you might write, "The company appears to have financial problems." That sounds professional. That sounds careful. That sounds formal.
So, same meaning as seem, but for writing and professional situations.
Yes, and there's one more thing. Appear often goes with to be or to have, like, she appears to be very experienced. He appears to have made a mistake.
Appears to be, appears to have. That's a good pattern to remember.
Write that down. Appear to be and appear to have. Very common and very natural.
Okay, so the 3 words in one line: look, eyes; seem, gut feeling; appear, formal writing.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Now, learner mistake time. Because I want to protect everyone from the sentences that sound a little wrong.
Let's do it.
Learner says, "She is seeming tired." What's wrong?
Oh, good one. You can't use seem in the ing form. Not she is seeming, just she seems. Simple.
She seems tired, not she is seeming tired.
Same with look. Not he is looking nervous, just he looks nervous.
Simple present, always.
Next one. Learner says, he looks very seem intelligent.
Oh, that's 2 words doing the same job.
Yes, pick one. He seems very intelligent, or he looks very intelligent. Not both.
1 word, 1 impression. Got it. What else?
Here's one that sounds a bit off. The weather is appearing bad today.
Appearing. Same problem as seeming. Don't use ing.
Just say, the weather appears bad today. Or, honestly, in casual speech, the weather looks bad today. That's the most natural.
So remember, no ing with these 3 words. Seems, looks, appears. Simple present. Done.
Okay, fast round. Real situations. I'll describe it, you decide which word fits. Then Lila will give you the answer.
Ready? Let's go.
Situation 1. You're on a phone call with your friend. You can't see her, but her voice is flat and short. Something feels wrong. What do you say?
She seems upset. Seem because you can't see her. You're feeling it from her voice.
Situation 2. You ordered a coffee. The barista hands it to you. It's the wrong color. You look at it and
This doesn't look right. Look, because you're using your eyes. Visual, immediate.
Situation 3. You got an email from your manager. Very short. Just 2 sentences. It's formal and cold. You call a colleague and say,
He seems angry. Or, his email seems a bit cold. Seem because you read it, you felt it, not something you can see.
In situation 4, you're writing a report about a meeting. Someone at the meeting was nervous. In your report, you write,
She appeared nervous during the discussion. Appear, formal, written, professional, perfect for a report.
if you got even 2 of those right, honestly, you understand the difference. And if you got all 4, go outside and celebrate. That was real English thinking.
We're serious. That was not easy. Okay, I want to say something. One idea. The thing behind all 3 words.
Go ahead.
All 3 words, look, seem, appear, they all create a gap. A gap between what you see or feel and what's actually true.
Oh, I love that. Say more.
She seems happy. I'm not saying she is happy. I'm saying that's my impression. But inside, she might be exhausted. She might be struggling. She seems happy. It's on the surface, but I could be wrong.
These words are honest. They say, here's what I observe, but I don't know everything.
And that's not weak. That's actually really smart. Native speakers use these words all the time, not because they're unsure, but because they're being careful and accurate.
And the difference between these 3 words is just this. Where does your impression come from? Eyes? Use look. Gut feeling, behavior, everything together? Use seem. Writing, report, formal situation? Use appear.
That's it. The whole thing. Right there.
And hey, if you had a moment during this episode where something clicked, where you said, oh, I get it, remember that moment, because that's real. That's your brain building something permanent. Let's do a quick recap. 3 words, 3 simple ideas.
Look. Your camera word. What you see with your eyes. That pizza looks amazing. He looks nervous. It looks like rain. Visual. Concrete. Most casual of the 3. Look equals eyes.
Seem, your gut feeling word. Not just what you see, what you hear, feel, sense. The whole picture. She seems upset. Something seems wrong. He seems like a good person. Flexible, common, and your safest choice when you're not sure. Seem equals gut.
Appear. Same meaning as seem, but formal. For writing, for reports, for professional emails. She appeared calm. He appears to have forgotten. And the key structures. Appear to be and appear to have. Appear equals formal.
And the one thing all 3 share, their impressions, not facts. They leave a little space for you to be wrong.
Your takeaway line. Say it, Kai.
Look is what your eyes say. Seem is what your gut says. Appear is what you write in a report.
Fellow language learners, say that line out loud right now. Seriously. Look is what my eyes say. Seem is what my gut says. Appear is what I write in a report. Say it once, then put it somewhere you'll see it.
Good.
And now, your question. And this is a real one, not just a nice way to end.
Think about your day today or yesterday. One moment, one person, one situation, and make one sentence. Use look, seem, or appear.
It could be, my coffee looked wrong this morning, or my colleague seemed stressed in the meeting, or the email appeared very formal. Any sentence, one sentence, something true.
Write it in the comments. We genuinely read them. And when you write it, you're not just practicing. You're proving to yourself that you can do this, because you can.
If this episode helped you, please hit like. It genuinely helps us reach more learners who need exactly this.
And subscribe if you're not already here. We come out every week. Real English, real situations, real difference.
You just learned something that a lot of people mix up every day. And you didn't just hear it, you felt it. You practiced it. You made sentences.
That's not small. That takes real effort.
See you in the next one, word nerds.
And hey, Lila, if your boss is listening,
She seems wonderful.
perfect.